Ever wonder why your brain freaks out over the smallest things? That text left on read, that weird noise at night, or that moment when you catch your reflection and can't stop staring? Your ancient brain might be playing tricks on you. You're living in 2025 with smartphones and smart homes, but your brain, it's still stuck in caveman mode, and I mean that literally. That anxiety you feel when someone doesn't text back, that's the same fear your ancestors felt when they got separated from their tribe. Pretty wild, right? Think about it. Your brain was designed thousands of years ago when every rustle in the bushes could mean death, when being rejected by your group meant you'd probably die alone, when not being attractive enough could mean you wouldn't find a mate. These survival instincts kept your ancestors alive long enough to pass their genes down to you, but here's the thing: your brain doesn't know you're safe now. It doesn't understand that the loud bang was just your neighbor dropping something, not a predator attacking. It can't tell the difference between someone unfollowing you on Instagram and being exiled from your tribe. Let's break down these ancient fears that are still messing with your head today. First up, that startle response. You know, when you're chilling on your couch, scrolling through TikTok, and suddenly your cat knocks something over. Your heart races, you jump, maybe even let out a little yelp. That's not you being jumpy, that's your brain's lightning. Fast threat detection system doing exactly what it evolved to do. Back in the day, if you heard a sudden noise, you needed to react instantly. The people who stopped to think, I wonder what that was, they didn't survive long enough to become your ancestors. The ones who jumped first and asked questions later, they're the reason you're here reading this. And that fear of the dark, it's not childish at all. When our ancestors couldn't see what was around them, they were in serious danger. Predators, cliff edges, enemy tribes, darkness meant death could come from anywhere. So your brain developed a healthy dose of nighttime paranoia. That's why even now, in your perfectly safe bedroom, shadows still make you uneasy. But it gets even more interesting when we talk about social fears. That pit in your stomach when you see everyone posted photos from a party you weren't invited to. Your brain processes that rejection like physical pain. Scientists have actually found that social rejection activates the same brain regions as breaking a bone. Wild, right? This made perfect sense for our ancestors. Being alone meant death. No one to help you hunt. No one to watch your back while you slept. No one to help raise your kids. So your brain evolved to treat social rejection as a serious threat to your survival. That's why even today, being left on read can feel like the end of the world. And let's talk about that obsession with appearances. Ever notice how you can look perfectly fine in the mirror, but one bad photo can ruin your whole day? That's because looking healthy and attractive wasn't just about vanity for our ancestors, it was about survival and reproduction. The better you looked, the more likely you were to find a mate and pass on your genes. But here's where it gets really messed up. Your ancient brain is now being bombarded with perfectly filtered, perfectly lit, perfectly edited images 24/7. It's like your survival instincts are getting constant updates about what acceptable looks like, and spoiler alert, it's not realistic. The uncertainty thing, that's another survival mechanism gone haywire. Your ancestors couldn't afford to be comfortable with uncertainty. Not knowing meant danger, so they developed a brain that would rather imagine the worst-case scenario than sit with the unknown. That's why you'd rather know for sure that someone's mad at you than wonder if they are. Here's the real kicker, though all these ancient fears are running on modern hardware. It's like trying to run the latest iPhone apps on the very first computer. There's bound to be some glitches. Your brain is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's just doing it in a world it wasn't designed for. But understanding this mismatch between your ancient brain and modern life, that's where the power lies. When you know why your brain freaks out over small things, you can start to recognize these reactions for what they are: outdated survival instincts. Next time you feel that flutter of anxiety over a social media post or that surge of panic in the dark, remember your brain is just trying to keep you alive. It doesn't know you're safe. It doesn't know that the worst thing that can happen is a bit of embarrassment or discomfort. You can't completely rewire these ancient circuits, they're too deeply embedded in your brain's architecture. But you can learn to recognize them. You can pause when they kick in and remind yourself, this is just my caveman brain doing its thing. I'm actually safe. Think of it like having an overprotective bodyguard who never got the memo that times have changed. Your brain is still scanning for tigers in your apartment, still treating every social interaction like it could lead to exile, still responding to every uncertainty like it could mean death. It's not broken, it's just really prepared for a world that doesn't exist anymore. And that's actually kind of amazing when you think about it. You're carrying around the same survival software that kept your ancestors alive through ice ages and predator attacks. Sure, it might make you jump at shadows or overthink a text message, but it's also a reminder of how incredibly resilient and adaptable humans are. So next time your ancient brain starts freaking out about modern problems, be patient with it. It's just doing what helped your ancestors survive long enough to make you possible. And hey, maybe understanding why we act the way we do is the first step to finding a better balance between our caveman instincts and our modern lives. If you found this dive into your brain's ancient wiring interesting, hit subscribe for more videos about why humans are way weirder than we think. Your ancestors would want you to.